What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Experience More podcast. I am pumped and excited to have each and every one of you guys joining with me here this week. Coming off of a busy weekend, a great week, and I'm tired. I'm pretty exhausted, but I wanted to be able to get in here this weekend. Definitely, my gears just started turning. I had some stuff I wanted to be able to hit you guys with this week, and really the big conversation and topic I want to bring you is that confidence comes from doing. That's really going to be the gist of the show today, is that confidence isn't just going to be there for you when you want it to be there. It is going to come as you progressively do the things that step you outside of your comfort zone. So kind of reel it back here. Hey, if you're new, welcome. Pumped and excited to have you, but definitely appreciate you if you have been here before. Those of you guys who have sent the text messages, for those of you guys who have my number and gained that and just that friendship over the years, right? And support over the years is something that does not go unnoticed. Outside of that, those of you guys who have left the reviews on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, all of those things play a huge role in, one, of course, the spread of the show and just being able to put it out there organically. Don't have sponsors within the show, right? Like I have friendships and relationships, able to share some different cool things for you guys. And I'm never going to be bought and paid for in the future. Hey, there might be sponsors of the show, individuals who really truly want to be able to help take it to the next level. But everything that I've done here within this show is honestly to hopefully give you guys who are listening, like the gusto to just go fucking do it. And whatever it is you want to do. This wasn't start this thing to go out and make a shitload of money. This show was built and created to hopefully give perspective for individuals who are wanting to experience more of the outdoors, experience more of life. Because I know for myself, it was a podcast, it was audiobooks, things that really were able to help me identify my weak points and identify strong points to really just fucking go at it, right? Whatever it is that scares the shit out of you, that's probably the direction you should ultimately go. It just means a lot. Definitely it helps the spread of the show, being able to go out, do those reviews, sharing it on social, all that stuff. I just hope that, this episode and the episodes prior to it can hopefully give you a little bit of nuggets of information, nuggets of maybe building a little bit of that confidence, right? To just go take the first swing, go take the first reps, because it goes without being said, and you will learn this further and more to come throughout your life. But like the work comes before the belief, and that belief builds the confidence in yourself, right? Like every single time you go do something, you build that belief in yourself, that confidence in yourself to ultimately just keep going. And I'm guilty. One of the things I'm gonna hit on this week is just something that my wife kind of hit me a little bit of the blind side, and I know she listens to this show, so I hope she knows I appreciate it. I love it. And I love her for the accountability that we're able to share with one another, and just, push each other outside of our comfort zones. We might have little brash moments and everything like that, but it's all in really true just support, being able to pick each other up when we are down, but then also, being able to call not just ourselves out, right? Sometimes we need someone to be able to call us out, and be that supportive rock in our life. And I know not everyone has that. I encourage you all to look for that in your significant other. I encourage you to encourage that in your significant other. And I encourage you to, hopefully take this podcast and share it with your significant others, share it with your friends, your family, your outdoors buddies, right? The individuals in your life that you want to be able to go out and just see win. And if you're getting this sent to you by one of those individuals, know that they give a flying fuck about you. They care about you. They understand that you have there's that thing, and they want you to go after it. They want you to go get it, and truly be able to experience life to its fullest, and shared with the world your gifts. Two, what it does when going through and, whether it's the messages, the shares, the tags, all those things organically going out, honestly, it helps me. It builds my confidence, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it with you guys. Like, putting this on week to week, and I have goals of having it 2 times a week, to eventually have it to where it is a consistent show. But that takes a lot of effort. And this show has been literally just straight up me learning it from the grassroots, that like just fucking buckling up and getting after it. I have no idea, still to this day, at least feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I still have so much to learn. And we're just going to continue to put it out, because I know wholeheartedly, the more I do it, the more reps I get in, the better I become. Like, when I first started doing this, I didn't know what I know now about the different systems and softwares and things about podcasting. I had no flying clue about, different cameras to be able to utilize, setups in cameras. Like, if you guys are watching on YouTube, and it drives me crazy, like learning different, aperture, different things of the camera f-stop. You're looking at the ISO settings, the white balance, all this stuff. And, you have to take a little bit of a step back and really realize, like, you don't know it all, and it's okay to ask questions, right? Even this weekend, I had a really good buddy, Jake Lishan, who's been on the show. I was going out and doing some camera stuff and everything up at an event we were at, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea really what I'm doing, but I'm taking shots. I'm trying to get better at doing still images, photography, and videography, and it just, you're never going to get better at it if you don't actually get out there and do the work that it takes to become better at it, to build more confidence in what you do, and then just turn around, continue to get a little bit better day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And guess what? Next thing you know, you've got multiple episodes out. You have been able to create an impact in people's lives. And I'm very, very humbled to get messages from you guys, whether it is through social media, tagged on social media, shared in the reviews. Your words definitely mean a lot. And, but you know what? I take that. My wife's like, oh, that's really cool. Man, that's pretty awesome. Like, I hope you're excited about that. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's like, I still have a shitload of work to do. It's one of my personal struggles is like, I don't take, not appreciation, but I don't take applause or like, good job, like those kind of things. I don't take, that stuff very good. I'm just like, oh, thanks, right? Like, I truly, truly appreciate it from you guys. But I'm like, man, I have so much further to go. I have so much better to get. And I'm trying to do better at that and be better at that, of acknowledging the successes that I've had. But I'm always like, hey, friggin' work hard, continue to push forward, and, celebrate quick, right? If we're going to celebrate, and then get right back into it and understand, like, yeah, it was cool. It was great. It was a little win. Awesome. But it could be so much better. And this show will only continue to get better. And I truly appreciate the support that you guys have shown doing that. So, long-winded answer to all of that. I just appreciate you guys showing up, being here, and ultimately that, you're taking different nuggets of information from myself, from my guests, and just the show as a whole. So, to all of you who have been here through it, thick or thin, appreciate all you guys. You're the real MVP, and I fucking love each and every one of you. Outside of that, if you're new, welcome. You've made it this far. Dude, just know that this show is not something that is truly like a scripted out thing. I bring it to you from the heart, come in with an idea, a concept, and we're just going to let her rip through my own personal experiences, the relationships that I've built, and then hopefully being able to share little nuggets of information with each and every one of you guys that you can go out there and truly get after life, truly experience more of the outdoors, because that is the core foundation of it, more of all facets of the outdoor space, as well as just life as a whole, to really grasp everything that is out there for you. So with that, I'm going to take a drink, freaking wet the whistle. This episode brought to you by Form Energy. Not sponsored, but I work there, so I was able to grab a couple. And I probably shouldn't be having one of those at 3 p.m., but that's okay. We got a lot of shit still to do. It's practically morning. But, all right. So this week, we're talking about diving into the aspect of confidence comes from doing, right? Like doing the thing. So I want you to really to kind of think about that, right? Like what is it that you want to do? I know I've hit on these different pieces in different ways, shape or form, but I'll give it to you straight like this weekend, right? And not mobile hunter, it's the Whitetail Road Show now. I think there was, a little bit of stuff kind of in the mix of another mobile hunter road show and different events. They had to switch the name to Whitetail Road Show. Really, that in itself right there, like how many people would have gone out? Like it's phenomenal, guys. The Whitetail Road Show is put on by the Dying Breed bow hunter, Cody DeQuisto and Jake Lishan, and that team, that crew, those friends came together to create what is known as the Whitetail Road Show. Beforehand, it was known as the Mobile Hunter Road Show. But how many times, could you go and look at something and be like, oh, well, that name's already out there. That's not going to work. You just gotta fucking send it. You gotta look at what it is you want to do. You have this goal, this vision, this mission, and it's so easy to overanalyze those different things. And hey, I gotta wait till it's perfect to go out and do it. And any little negative piece that can come in can ultimately set you back to where the truth, the confidence that comes from all of it. And if there's anything I've ever learned throughout my journey of life, and it's still very, very young journey, is that confidence comes through doing the work. The belief you have in yourself, the belief in the vision you have, the goals you have, the dreams you have, the product you want to bring to market, the work, putting it together, designing it, making the prototypes, and actually putting it out there, right? It's going to evolve. What you are looking at right now, like say you have this product you want to be able to bring to market. Okay, I guarantee you, I guarantee it. And I could look at my podcast. I could look at different relationships that I've had. Like what it is right now is not what it's probably going to be in 5-10 years from now, maybe not even a year from now. It will evolve, right? I'd look at First Form. First Form's logo, like these guys started back, like I've been with them since late 2014, 2015, been at headquarters since it would have been 2018. I was a customer beforehand, external rep along with that. And then I ended up moving down 2018, and then I've been there ever since and started First Form Outdoors. Like First Form in itself has evolved throughout the years, right? And that's the thing, like you always have to be evolving with the changing times, the demographics, the economy. Like you have to be able to evolve. And there's going to be people that don't necessarily like that you evolve in a certain way because maybe it's not the way they envisioned it evolving. And I think that's what set people back too. Like you have to be aware of, different scenarios and the people affected and like all those different things. But at the end of the day, if you are not growing, you are just waiting to essentially die, or as a business piece, essentially waiting to be overtaken. Like you have to be able to evolve with the times and continue to grow, but also, I believe, remember where the humble beginnings started and like what got you to where you are. The saying of like, hey, what got you here is not going to get you there. Well, really foundationally, I'm a firm believer, like what has gotten you to the point of where you are, that same like base level is going to get you to where you are wanting to go. The same core values, the mission, the mindset, everything that got you going in the beginning, like that day one mentality of where you could run through a fucking brick wall, that mentality can dwindle as time goes on and you become complacent, right? We talk about like internally and working with different individuals at headquarters about like this success bell curve, right? And like where I'd have to draw it up on like an actual like whiteboard and put it all together, but it's, very hard to get started, and you're ultimately coming up this curve, this bell curve up to the top, and you're doing the work consistently over and over and over and over again. It is no different. The bell curve, the success bell curve, is the same for someone trying to accomplish their fitness journey and their health journey as it is in business, as it is in anything that you ultimately do. And it gets to a point to where you get to the top of that bell curve, no different than the saying of like, hey, the top of one mountain is the bottom of another, right? You got to continue to keep climbing, continue to keep working and stepping forward. Like what got you to the top of that mountain will continue to get you to the top of the next mountain. You might need some different gear. You might need some different tools. You're going to probably have to refuel, right? But no matter what, you're still climbing a fucking mountain. That's just the truth of all of it, right? And, I look at, jumping here, but like First Form, their logo is transitioned. It's different than what it was back in the day. Core values, mission, everything is still rock solid internally. And those are the guiding, like I call like lighthouses of First Form, are those core values of the overall arching mission. And, you have to be able to have a good established like mission as well as core values, because really the mission is the lighthouse. The core values are like the North Stars, and they help direct you when you maybe get into some rough waters. And that is something I know has helped First Form. It has helped me personally in guiding me in the direction that I wish to take on life and evolve and just keep moving forward when you find those different struggle points. So you look at, the Mobile Hunter Roadshow, like, yeah, they might have had some bumpy roads. Like when I first met them and went out to that event a couple of years ago, I was like, these guys are good dudes. They're the core values, the mission behind what they have, the product they deliver. You can just tell in how they treat other people. That's why I love going to shows. That's why I love being able to meet other people. We live vicariously so much through people's social media and all this different bullshit. There is nothing more powerful and nothing more advantageous to learning about the core than actually going out and shaking hands, meeting people face to face, and just getting out there and doing the dang thing, right? So when I went to that event, this was not like a First Form event. It was not a sanctioned event. Like it was very, very beginnings of First Form Outdoors when I was starting that piece up. Really didn't even have a team yet. It was very, very young in that. And no one told me to go do the event. No one told me I could do the event. And I looked at it as like, I didn't want to ask. I'm a big like ask for forgiveness, not permission. Like I really didn't ask. I said, hey, there's this show. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's like, but is it worth it? Right. Well, it was worth it to me. Right. I wanted to go see. And what I did is I packed up my truck, and this is a two-part kind of story here for you guys if you didn't realize. The part of it is I loaded my truck up with just some product. I wanted to go support these guys. I wanted to go see what it was about, get to know them. But I loaded my truck up with some product, had some bars, some meat sticks. I brought some protein, brought some things along to be able to put in maybe some giveaways, things that they had. And I literally jumped in my truck and I bootstrapped it and paid it all my own way. Drove all the way to the different events. I think I did 2 or 3 that year, and just trying to go support those guys, show up. I literally would get done with work at like 5 p.m. and then 5 p.m. I'd get off work, load up. My truck was loaded up, and I'd hit the road, and I'd roll into one of those events across the country, depending on how long it took me to drive. I'd get there at 10 p.m., midnight. One of them was like 1 a.m., and I just roll in. Everyone else is passed out asleep, and I remember like, did I just pull my truck up next to other cars that were parked, rolled a sleeping bag out if it wasn't raining, which thank God it didn't rain in that, but I'd roll it on top of my tonneau cover of my truck, and I just slept under the stars. And then I'd get up a couple hours later, and we'd connect up, see everyone, have some coffee, and then get the show on, because it's a one-day like seminar piece of all immersive mobile hunting. And if you guys have never gone to a whitetail roadshow, highly recommend it. If you're wanting to learn some really, really good tips, tactics on just that run gun style, especially like the public land hunting and understanding whitetail from some of the just the best dudes out there, not just phenomenal hunters, right? But they have established a really, really good crew of individuals that are just, they love whitetail hunting. They love it like through and through, and they want to be able to share it with other people. And, I felt that the first couple events of like, this was bigger than just, oh, show up, give us your money and we'll give you some information. Like they went above and beyond in so many different areas. And it was this more, socially like interconnected crew. It was just really, really cool. But, watching them evolve and, building this out, and it continues to, grow and provide value to the people that they ultimately have. For myself, I saw like, for them, let's stay in with them, and like their products, right, that they bring out, and they continue. It's Lone Wolf custom gear, because it is custom to you. It is being able to bring those products along with you and tailor it, because every whitetail hunter and mobile hunter is a little bit different. To where these are products that you can utilize in the western states. It is a phenomenal setup to be able to go out and go sit water out west. It's something that you can utilize and throw in your pack, and it's super light. And they've just thought about all these different little things. And I can tell through, talking to Jake, talking to Cody, and then even having some conversations with Andre, Cody's dad, who started Lone Wolf way back in the day. Just the passion that is there in the whitetail woods, and to bring us like a superior product, an American-made product, to the forefront, is just really cool, because they care. They give a shit. You have to give a shit. But I have no doubt that there's been trials and tribulations behind the scenes to see that growth. And as it goes, they'll face more of them, just like them having to change from the Mobile Hunter Roadshow to the Whitetail Roadshow. That's just one little thing. Like, it wouldn't be what it is today if they didn't just start it and they didn't make it about something greater than just themselves, right? And that's where I think that event is such a powerful piece, is it's something that has been able to go out and, create an impact in a community that now you see like AJ, right? AJ is a part of the First Form Outdoors crew. He's a great friend of mine. We met each other and we're hanging out stuff before you even got involved with the Lone Wolf guys. But now, since AJ is involved in it, he sees that, he's bought into it, and he's been with them and helping literally create such a positive, as the Mr. Enthusiasm himself understands that transfer of energy is such a powerful thing, and his cup isn't always full, but it gets filled up by providing value to other people and being able to spread that energy out around them, to where, really in the whitetail woods, like that entire crew now, I've seen in the beginning, like when I met a bunch of the guys, dude, their entire crew is stacked. Like, it's stacked when I mean like fit. They're out there, they're going to the shows, they're doing things, like they're being diligent in their own personal fitness to truly experience more. Like they're living a healthier lifestyle, right? The Squatch, like Zach is one of the guys, like back when I met him, he was a little bit heavier and overweight. And dude, the guy has completely changed his life. He's freaking jacked. Other individuals within that scene, like they've dedicated so much of just being a healthier, fit, positive impact of individuals. Like individually, they have all just excelled so much, to where it has now just created this ripple effect out to their community, to where their foundation is whitetail hunting, right? In the Midwest. Like they're right up in Iowa over, and they hunt Iowa, Wisconsin. I know Jake's like North Carolina. Like, it's spread out across the Midwest, but in a place where most people wouldn't be caring really about their fitness, right? But you look at all of them, and they're just freaking phenomenal dudes that are living a healthy, fit, active lifestyle, and they're creating that impact. And that whole piece of like, where they are going, I can already envision like the trajectory of them continuing to go and grow, solely because of the actions that they're taking, right? That they're going out and taking action, and the belief in what they're doing continues to grow. Their confidence continues to grow. The belief that they're building not only in themselves, right? But the biggest part is they're building belief in other people. They're building belief in those people and what they're truly capable of doing individually. But then they're also building the belief in what Lone Wolf is truly about, what the community is all about. And now they establish more of that belief that they're in it because their product's not cheap. Like, it's not. But the people who are buying those products and looking at that community understand that this isn't just something that I'm going to go hang in a stand or hang in a tree, leave it there for a year. And they have like their Patriot series and they do all that different stuff to where it's a little bit more cost effective. But when it comes to it, we're going to go out and create the best product physically possible. We are going to be products of the product ourselves and create that belief in other individuals that, hey, we are here not to just deliver you a product, sell you a product, but we're here to give you a tool that can truly go out and allow you to experience more of what it is you are wanting to do in the outdoor space, right? Whether it is whitetail hunting, whether it is going out west, it doesn't matter. They're tools and things that you're able to utilize to go out there and truly excel at what it is you're wanting to do. And it's really cool to see over the last few years of getting to know all of those guys and connecting with them and seeing them from afar. Because I mean, it's not like a short drive or anything for me, but being able to watch like the company grow and the impact they have at different events. But then individually, I think that's the piece that just jazzes me up the most is I'm watching some of these dudes just like crush it. And they're better coworkers, they're better spouses, they're better parents, and like they're creating a true impact in the outdoor space, and it's fucking awesome. And it just builds that confidence as time goes on, right? And so that's where it's like you have to be able to do the thing. You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to continue to move forward with the same mindset, mission, values that got you started, right? But then as you evolve and like as you have to adapt to the times, right? You always are able to come to those different values and look at like, hey, what is like, is this going to set us outside of where like what we're here to do, the value we want to bring? And you have to be able to, you know, reevaluate where you're at. You have to be able to look at, kind of step back, because sometimes you get lost in it, lost in the sauce. You get like when you're in the woods, it's easy to get lost in the trees. Sometimes you have to step back, have that 10,000 foot view so you can see the entire forest of where you are going, right? So, and those core values allow you to do that, right? Outside of that, I look at just the growth of First Form Outdoors, right? Going out, building that piece out. That was me. Now we go up and First Form is helping support and back those different events. In the beginning, it was just me. I had to believe that this was something powerful, right? And might have got hand slapped, X, Y, and Z. Like, here's the deal. I don't give a shit, right? And that's one of the cool things that I've, you know, been able to, like, I care, but I have a leadership, you know, in the past that it's like, hey, you know, Jake, you're going to probably cost me a lot of money, but if you do it with the right intentions, you're never going to get fired for doing something with right intentions, right? That is quote from one of my leaders at headquarters, one of the owners, and one of the execs of the team. And the thing is, like, if you make a mistake, right? And if the mistake, and this is the other part, is like, hey, you're probably going to make a mistake, but if the mistake was with the right intention, right? Yeah, it might cost some money here and there, but at least you did it in the right way. Don't make the mistake again. We continue to move forward, we pivot, and keep things rolling, right? So that is a piece for some of you guys who are leaders of an organization. You have a team, like you might have someone who goes through and maybe costs you a good chunk of money. Was it with the right intentions? Was it with like a selfish malice or something, right? Like for me, when looking at that, and it's always been that way of like, I want to be able to create an impact in people's lives. I know the value of individuals taking better care of themselves. I understand how powerful like products, like First Form products, can be in people's lives. And when going out and creating the outdoor piece, like I want to truly connect with people in the outdoors and understand like, hey, if you live a healthier, fit, more active lifestyle, you will be able to experience more of it. Not only will you be able to experience more of it, you're actually going to stick around longer. You're going to add years to your life, which in the Midwest and everyone around, like that is the big piece to it. You cannot pass on the outdoor heritage. You cannot share more of those times around the campfire or more days at the trailhead if you're dead. And when you look at everything that's going on in our society and just everything around, even in the outdoor community and the industry as a whole, is like, dude, if you go through like the biggest thing we can do to create a better impact in the outdoor space, in the outdoor community, is live a healthier lifestyle ourselves. Quit pointing the finger at every other person that's out there and every other government organization or any of the different bullshit. At the end of the day, what are you doing individually? How are you living your life? Are you, on a physical standpoint, are you living a healthier, more fit, active lifestyle? Because it'll trickle into everything else. Are you going through and being a great example in the outdoor space? Are you having great conversations with people at trailheads? Or are you just kind of like chauvinistic or, off-standing? Like, here's the deal. We all share the same woods and waters. Like, we all love to hunt. We all love to fish. We all love doing all these different things. Like, we eat our own too often. And we have to be able to look at, like, if we want the younger generation and people to be involved and we want to see hunting grow, we want to see outdoor activities grow and have more resources and more ability to do those different things, we first must go. Like, we have to be the individuals to be the example of what it means to be a great outdoorsman, not just someone who's a killer, right, and can shoot some big bucks or elk or whatever it is. Like, what are you doing for the outdoor space in your household, right? Are you bringing kids and getting them involved? Are you maybe taking some different friends or family members or people that have never gone hunting before out hunting? Are you allowing them to go out and experience those different things? Like that, and it doesn't have to be earth-shattering. We all think, oh, we need everyone to go do this. Well, are you doing it? Like, that's the thing. Like, when's the last time that you took someone out hunting, right, that has never gone hunting before? When's the last time that you picked up a piece of trash you walked by in the woods? When's the last time you picked up a piece of trash on the bank of the boat landing, right? Like, all those different things are super, super powerful, and we overlook them, right? We look them because it's like, it's not that big of a deal right now. But in the grand scheme, if we go through individually and do it, it creates a bigger impact long term, and it creates a ripple effect. Right, at the end of the day, we must first go first in all facets of it, and that's just something that you have to look at. As all of us continue to grow into the outdoor space, and you venture in to getting in, maybe you're first time hunter, first generation fisherman, doesn't matter. Like, just because you see someone else do it and run it in a poor sense, like, no, that's not how I roll. We're gonna do it this way. We don't have to bash other people. We don't have to just lead by example. It's not a good way to lead. It's the only fucking way to lead, is by example, not just for your kids or your circle, your family. That is something that we are able to create an impact on generation to generation moving forward, because we can't put that on other people. So that's kind of like when you look at, Lone Wolf, my story, First Form, all those things tied together, like it is all building confidence. In the very beginning, like, I really couldn't talk to this a lot. Like, I had like that little core piece inside of me, like wanting to do more and be able to provide more value to people's lives. And I had to look at it like that was my harsh realization. Like, am I that person? Am I the one doing that? And I couldn't with like whole heart sincerity say that I was. And that's where I had to go through and really, take a good look at my life and the lifestyle I was living. Like, what can I do to create a bigger impact, right? And that's where it's like, just be that person. Talk to the person at the trailhead. You pull in to a public land spot. I do this when I'm out here in Missouri. I'll drive up to a public land spot, and there's maybe, 2-3 other trucks there. If there's someone there getting ready and I'm about to head out, like, this is the first time I've ever been here. I meet someone, I'm like, I'll go over and then be kind of like standoffish a little bit, like, oh, who's this guy, right? Well, I go up, it's like, hey man, my name's Jake. It's like, I don't want to interrupt. And I put it on me. It's like, I don't want to interrupt your hunting piece. Like, first time going in here, X, Y, and Z. I'll ask them, like, have you been here before? Are you like, where are you planning on going? I don't want to bugger up your hunt. Like, it's having that communication. You watch the guard come down because they think someone's going to be pissed off that someone else is hunting in here and go into a spot. Guess what? It's a fucking deer. There's a lot of them out there. Yeah, people put in a lot of time and effort to do different things, but like we're all brothers and sisters in that way, to go out and actually enjoy the hunt. Like if it's just about killing the big deer, then we really have to reevaluate what we're doing. And I understand like that is a goal. We want to fill the freezer. We want to chase that big buck that we have on camera, and we should, and you should wholeheartedly, you should do those things, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of the community in the outdoor space and like treating each other like complete dog shit. Like that is just, I will never go that route, and I will never endorse that route or that side of it. I'm still in the bank of like, hey, we're all here. We're all going out. We all have the same opportunities to do things. And we need to be the individuals that actually create a bigger impact in the outdoor space by how we treat one another, not just socially, right? That's a big one. How are we having conversations, but then how are we treating each other face to face overall? So you got to look at that, right? Because that's going to be a huge player as time comes and moves forward, right? In what we do and the impact that we ultimately want to have, right? So but kind of getting back, sorry, go off tangent. All right, another drink. I got to wet the whistle again. But the confidence comes literally, again, going right back to it. Like it'll always come back to the work that you put in, whether that is your first hunt. You're not going to be confident until you go out there and actually get in the woods to go on the hunt. You're probably going to fail. You're probably not going to have the greatest success physically possible, and that's okay. You learn something, right? When I went up to this road show, I took my daughter. So it was a long day. And again, I was going to this show regardless of if First Form was going up there or not, because I believed in them and those guys. And I hadn't seen a lot of them for a good minute, and I just wanted to be able to go see everyone and connect with all of them. But my wife had an event, and I support her wholeheartedly, just like I had said earlier, with her and the Gilded Hive and all she does with her like handcrafted candles, diffusers, all the stuff that she has built right here out of our home, and pouring those things to where she had an event. And she's again one of these individuals who is like gone, and I've helped push her in different areas, but she really, she went all in on it during the COVID time. And just poured into or it wasn't even really COVID time, it was postpartum, where she was missing something. She needed to be able to do something, and she started the Gilded Hive, and she's been building it out, and she just found a love and a passion for it because she wanted to be able to make sure that there were great products inside of our household for our daughter, right? And like for our house and the life that we are living, right? So it's all non-toxic stuff that she's been building and creating and researching and developing, from the product itself to the website that she personally designs and puts together, because that's what her job is. She does website design, digital marketing, all those things. She works for a lot of other people around the area, and she's phenomenal at building other people's dreams and visions. And I always just challenge her. I'm like, well, you're great at doing that for other people. What about building yours? What is yours, right? Build your brand, build your business, create it for you, right? And she did. She's been consistently doing that. And now she, of course, has the online piece. She went through and put it out there and has created such a phenomenal product that it is creating a buzz. It creates a little bit more of an impact every single time. And now she's really, because she works from home, she wants to be able to do things that are outside of the home. So she started doing some of these shows and going to different farmers markets, things of that nature. And she's been very, very well received. She's now doing wholesaling with different companies and different storefronts around, as well as the direct to consumer right off her website. But outside of that, with that event, she of course has events now, right? On the weekend, she's booking these events out, and she's going to these different things. And as I know wholeheartedly, as she continues to keep doing it, she's going to get booked for more events. She's going to have more of a calling because she brings such a great product to the market space. And I want her to do that, right? But I know, of course, I have a lot of events with what my job requires and what I'm going out and doing. And then even events that I'm doing that are not First Form related, right? And just being out in the outdoor space, connecting with people face to face, because I love doing that. I knew I was going to the Whitetail Road Show, even regardless First Form was going, I was going to go. And I'm like, I'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Tina kind of freaked out a little bit on me. She's like, "You're going to this show? I have a show. What are we doing?" Like, she's not able to have Aurora while she's working with customers. At that, I was like, "Babe, don't worry about it. I'm going to take Aurora." She's like, "What? Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take Aurora." I'm like, "Yep, we're going daddy-daughter day. And we're just going to make it happen." I'm like, "I got to be up there at, it starts at 9, 10 a.m. and it's like a 5.5 hour drive with a little girl, 2.5-year-old girl. She'll be 3 in November." And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll do it. No problem. Like, I'll make it work." At the end of the day, you have to make it work, right? And we loaded her into her car seat at 4 a.m., loaded up the truck, all the snacks and the goodies, and we headed up to the Whitetail Roadshow up in Iowa, and we just had a great day. Like, it was awesome. That little girl is so special. She is such a phenomenal light in the world, and her and I, my wife and I both, are just blessed to be able to have her. She is the greatest blessing that I've ever had. It's not easy, not by any way, shape, or form is it easy, but it is truly, truly special. And another show of just like the Whitetail Roadshow guys, right? And just that community, going up there, seeing all them, it was great. I wanted to be able to go up, like I said, just support them and the mission they're on. We hung out, and Aurora, like, it was so cool because they've of course seen her through like my social, and they've seen me grow as a dad, and they're like, "Oh, is this the one and only Miss Aurora?" Right? And it was just so cool to be able to have her up there with me at that event. And I wasn't able to do a bunch of the different activities or things there because I was watching with her. I would kick the ball around with her. We were playing. She got involved with some of the other kids and girls and that were up there at that event. She was having a blast. She was one of the youngest ones there. And, but the older kids and that allowed her to come in and kick the ball and do different stuff out back with her. And then she'd hang out with me, inside the building. We walk around. We had a good time. And, that's one of those pieces. And the reason I bring this part up is, you have to, like, you'll never be confident to bring your kids to any of these kind of events until you start doing it. And it's not going to be perfect, right? But it's twofold powerful. It's one, it teaches you how to be able to go through and navigate those waters, right? And like go do that. That was the longest trip her and I have taken personally alone, right? Together, just daddy-daughter, that we have done. It was a 5.5 hour drive there. We were there at the event for 7 hours. And then we drove straight back. We left at 5:30-ish, right? We got back at like midnight because we had to do some potty breaks and all sorts of different stuff along on the way back. And, it was a long day. It was not necessarily the easiest day, but she was a rock star through it. And we had some little spouts there. She said in the back seat, like, a bee stung me. I don't know what, her foot hurt. I don't know if it was like a phantom sting or something like that. And like, we had to pull over. I had to kiss it and make sure like she was good. And, she'd been in the car seat for a long time. And, but no matter what, she still made it back. We had a great time together, and the guys who were up there who I was able to surround her with were awesome. And to be able to have her at those events, twofold, it helps teach me how to be a better dad and understand how to navigate those waters, because I truly want to be able to bring her and any future kids that Tina and I have along to different events and be able to have her involved in those things, because I know how powerful that was for me with my dad and mom back growing up. Was they didn't have to bring me with to different areas, but whether it was they wanted to or just through necessity of like, hey, we need to bring the kids because we got so many other things going on. Like, I was able to go along and to go to those different things, right? Whether it was the rod and gun like trap shooting with my dad, I was hanging out with all of dad's friends. Or I'd go and I'd hang out with all mom's friends. I was hanging out always growing up with people who were older than me, right? I had a hard time, honestly, kind of like even connecting with like kids because I thought they were like stupid and just young, right? And I had a bunch of friends who were younger than that, but they were also kids that hung out with their dads, right? Or hung out with their parents, and just older people overall. And I think that at a young age leading up was why I was able to go out and do things that I know. It's why I was able to do things and handle myself at such a young age, where most people nowadays would look at it as like, there's no way I would be able to let my kid do that. Like, I was hanging out around adults majority of my younger life versus hanging out around kids all day long, all day, every day. Like, I was learning different interpersonal skills with adults. I was learning how to communicate with them. I was learning respect. I was learning a lot of fundamental skills at a very, very young age that allowed me a confidence to do the things that I was able to do at a very young age, like going out to Colorado at first when I was 8 years old, or going out and camping by myself, riding a mule that was 100 times bigger than me, camping out a mile away from our house at 8 years old by myself. And, it gave not only the confidence for me to do those things and that belief I had in myself that was instilled in me from my parents. It also gave my parents, by inching those teachings upon me, it gave them the confidence that I could handle it, that I could do it, right? And pushing me outside of my comfort zone to go do those things. So going to this event with her is like, I know how powerful that has been for me and my own personal development through life, to where it's like, I want her to be able to experience that. I want her to be able to come along to these different events, hanging out with adults, people who are older than her, to where I still want her to have fun with her friends and the kids and all the things that are around, like all the younger kids around. But I also want her to know that Dad loves her. Dad's always going to be here for her. I want her to know that she is welcome to come to those different events and be a part of those different experiences, because I want her to be able at a young age to look at anything that is ultimately thrown her way as not an obstacle, but an opportunity. And I think that is something that for all of us, any of you guys listening as parents, as younger individuals, like, it's giving your kids the opportunity to go excel. It's giving them the opportunity for potential failure, right? It's giving them the safe space, not of like, oh, this is a safe place. No, like the safe space to fail, right? To go out and discover, to adventure. And that's where, I encourage all of you, especially if you're wanting to be a parent or you are a parent, like, just give them the opportunity to do that, because it builds confidence in you of what you're capable of as a parent, but it gives you the confidence in what your kids are able to go out and do. And you're just giving them tools that will last them literally the rest of their life. That's now looking at that, I'm like, okay, we did that event. I personally have more belief in my ability to take her on different trips, know how to communicate better with her, to handle some different sticky situations, make sure that she's having fun, making sure that she is able to go out and experience it overall. And it makes me so excited for the future. Different events to where can bring her along and be able to, create an impact in her life, because I know how big of an impact she makes in my life. And I know that's the same for Tina, to where, we talk as she's getting older here and she's going to be getting into school years and that, to where it's like, okay, well, Tina's building and establishing an understanding for the business she is running, to where eventually in the future, like, Aurora's going to be able to help with Gilded Hive. She's going to be able to go to those different events, learn from the ground up of running a different business, how to treat different individuals, how to have that customer service, how to create an experience and impact other people's lives. And that's really, the big piece that we want to be able to bring and instill in her as she ultimately continues to move forward and ultimately grow as a young little woman. So there's that. The biggest thing that we need to understand, though, like, and I think anyone who's listening to this, is all of this is great and good, right? And you have to forge forward. You have to be able to do the thing. Like right now, the thing that you're thinking about or has popped into your head, I guarantee you that's the thing that you ultimately should, like, just take initiative to move forward on. You're going to be scared shitless, and it might not be like, oh my God, a fear, right? But you're nervous. There's a sense of fear. There's a sense of the fear of failure. What's the worst thing that happens? You go out and spend some money and it doesn't work. It doesn't develop. Well, I promise you it'll never develop if you don't do it, if you don't make that first run, if you don't make that first prototype, if you don't go to that first event, you have to go into it too, like the idea like, hey, you're going to go do the best you can absolutely possibly do, and be okay with the failure and setback, and understand that it's not just like this forever failure. It's, hey, this was an opportunity, a learning opportunity. I can reassess what ultimately happened, and how do I come back and do it better? How do I make my product better? How do I make myself better? How do I create a better impact? And just continuing to keep pushing forward, right? No different than walking into the woods, going hunting for the first time. You're going to look at that piece of land. You might e-scout it. You look at everything. You're going to walk in. You're probably going to bust some deer out. You're probably going to bust some elk out. You're going to maybe move in on those turkeys, right? And they're going to spot you and bust you, and then you don't end up harvesting. Maybe something catches your wind. Like every single time you walk into the woods, and why I love hunting so much and how hunting is so comparable to the business space is that you always have to reassess what you had done that day, right? What you had done throughout the period of time. If you think about it, for you guys who are whitetail hunters, or you guys who are hunters in general, how much time you put into preparation of e-scouting, of all these things, of this one plot of land and putting it together. Eventually you just have to, you put it all together, but then the season opens, you go out in the woods and you make it happen. Okay. You have a business you want to start. You're putting it together. You're planning it. Like if you just treated it like hunting season of, okay, I have it together. Cool. Great. Well, no, this is the date I'm launching it. I'm putting it out no matter what. Even if it's not perfect, you just put it out. Like you just have to set the date. You have to make those things happen. Like every season, then you get a little bit better. You fail so many times, but you keep coming back. You keep moving forward. You have to look at that as your business of like, just set the date, make the things happen, get it as well put together as possible, and then launch it, put it out. It's so easy to just kick the can down the road on the business side, to where hunting season, it's like, well, I didn't get out and shoot very much. I didn't do a bunch of these things. I didn't e-scout that much, but it's opener. I got to go sit. So we're going to do it anyway. We're just going to make it happen. Might not work. Well, you're still going to get out in the woods. You're still going to learn some things and ultimately move forward from it. You build confidence from that. You learn from the mistakes and you continue to move forward. And that's, I think there's such a great complementing factor between the two different pieces of hunting and business, that if you just treated your business like hunting season, that, hey, you just can't keep kicking the can down the road and be like, if you're going to just wait until you're perfect every single time, or every single piece of gear is exactly how it needs to be, you'll never get in the woods. And the truth is, if you ever want to be able to put some meat in the freezer, hang some on a wall, like, you got to just be in the woods. Grandpa always said it, like, you're never going to catch that big fish if you never put your worm in the water. Like, you got to get your bait out there. You're going to do it. Like, it's like catching a muskie. It's like the fish at 10,000 casts. You cast like thousands of times for a muskie, right? For all the fishermen and the people out there who know, like, if you just got on the boat, got on the lake and the water, you could examine the water. You can have everything perfect and think you know everything that you need to know, but you're going to cast 1,000 times, 10,000 times before you actually finally catch one and land one. Like, most people quit at cast 10 or 100 and like, oh, this is a shitty day of fishing. You were still fishing. You're still out there. You're enjoying it. And that's, as you go further through this, is like just enjoying that process. And really getting to a point where you just enjoy failure so much that you just continue to keep going and doing it. And eventually, guess what? You catch the fucking fish. You shoot the fucking buck. And you make those different things happen. So it just comes down to getting past that point of that fear of failure, that uncomfortable feeling of like not thinking you're 100% ready or correct. Because guess what? You land one and then you're like, all right, got it. Figured it out. And then you're going to have to cast another 10,000 times to figure it out again. And it's uncomfortable, right? You start second guessing yourself, but you just have to stay consistent with the effort you're putting forward. And ultimately the actions lead to the experiences, which then really like gives you the evidence, right? Like your actions lead into experiences, gives you evidence of what you are doing, what works, what doesn't work, and that ultimately builds your confidence and the belief you have. And then that, like, it just leads to bigger actions, right? So if you kind of draw it out, it's like Actions lead to experiences, leads to evidence, leads to confidence, bigger actions, bigger experience, more evidence, more confidence. And it just continues to build as time ultimately moves forward. So, it's just, what is the saying? I think Henry Ford said it. Whether you think you can, or whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Like that saying right there. I think that's, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Right? Like that piece in it, all of it is you are. Like, if you believe you can, guess what? You'll figure it out. You'll make it happen. I would say mass majority of individuals out there in the world, they just don't think they can do it. For a long time, I never thought I could do an Ironman. Never even had it in my like tool belt, right? Guess what? I got around the right people. I had a little bit of peer pressure come from some individuals. And next thing I knew, I was doing a half Ironman 6 months later. Most people train an entire year, if not longer, to go out and do one, right? Like that piece, like it does. And it's a great reminder too, like you are who you surround yourself with. And it's not just physically, right? It's via social. It's via the books you read and listen to. It's the podcasts you listen to. Like, what is that belief you have in yourself, right? And you have to be able to take the actions to ultimately build more of that belief to keep going, because then you start to, instead of saying, I'm not sure if I can, you say, how do I make it happen? And we continue to keep just building upon that as time ultimately goes on. And that is the big catalyst to it, of it's just continuing to put in the reps over and over and over again, to where it's like that. I've talked about it before. It's like that light switch effect. You're heading down a dark hallway, right? Every single new opportunity you face, every single new thing that's in front of you, like you are literally turning a light switch on a dark hallway. You are going down a hallway. You're having to walk down this, and better explain this. Imagine yourself walking down a hallway right now. You know that the hallway is in front of you, and the light switch is probably on the other side of the wall. It's not on the wall that you're closest to. It's on the other side. And we all know we have to walk down that. We have our, we can't see, so we're feeling our hands. We're not moving very fast. And eventually we get to the other side of the hallway, and there's a light switch. Light switch comes on, and there's nothing like, it really wasn't that scary, right? Well, guess what? We've lit that whole hallway for everyone else behind us. They can come down through it. Now you have a door on that hallway. You got to open that door. It opens that next hallway, and as soon as you open it, boom, you're right into darkness again. Well, then as you do it, you realize that there's really nothing in these hallways that's stopping you other than your own fear of failure. That's the tattoo I have on my back. Nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear is the number one thing that'll get you in trouble in the mountains. It's the number one thing that'll ultimately stop you from achieving anything in your life, is that fear of failure, right? Nothing to fear but fear itself. That is, to date, my favorite quote of all time, for the sole fact that in the mountains, fear will lead you to make poor decisions. It'll lead you the wrong direction where you're going. You have to calm yourself down. You have to establish yourself and continue to move forward. You open that new door. It's a dark hallway. Walking down it, as you do it, you get to light switch. Cool, you've opened up and you've lit it all for everyone behind you. Boom, you open the door, you're in it, you're in the darkness again. Guess what? Every single time you're going to go through, you're going to go down that hallway. You build up speed as time goes on, because you're like, there's nothing in these hallways. Cool, flip the light on. Cool, keep going through the next door, going through the next door. You might trip. Hallway might turn. You might hit a freaking wall or something, brick straight face on. Might stop you for a second. Boom, takes you a little bit. Find the switch. Cool, light it back up. You keep moving forward. And it's that whole light switch effect of your life, to where you start to realize what you're capable of, and that there's really nothing in those hallways that are truly scary. Yeah, you might get bumped and bruised, run into a wall here and there, but but you eventually go through and you build the confidence to just take on every single new door, every single hallway, and every single time you're going down that, you're turning the lights on for other people behind you, other people in your community, other people in your family. And that piece is something that I think all of us can ultimately like really take something from, because that was me going through and, getting my first house right out of high school. Didn't know what I was doing, right? Gutted it all, changed it up, was told I was going to kill myself re-renovating this thing, and all these different things, bumps, bruises, all this stuff that ultimately happened. Guess what? I learned what I needed to do, what I shouldn't do, and moved forward from it. Bought another one, then bought another one. And then from there, I had to went in, bought gym, went into a business, had no gym experience, no real certifications or anything beforehand. Starting that, boom, 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 boom. One hallway down to another one, kept going. And I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. Now I reflect more on this. I've read more books. I've understood more things, listened to more podcasts, and listened to a lot of other people that are a lot more intelligent than I am and a lot smarter. And I've been doing these things, and I've stopped myself from this point of, hey, if it scares me and it makes me really worried, it's probably the thing I need to go towards, right? And continue to venture forward with that. And it's when I bought the gym, when I sold the gym, when I moved to St. Louis to work for First Form, when I looked at starting this podcast and building this all out, there are always these little roadblocks of things of unknown, right? But I knew I have this thing inside of my gut telling me this is the direction I need to go and what I need to do, okay? It's going to probably scare the shit out of me, okay? I might have to close one door behind me to open up the next one and keep moving forward. And if that's anything I could leave with you guys this week, is understand that saying that is so cliche, as one door closes, another one opens, is the truest saying there is out there. It might not be the door, like you close the one, you open the next one. It might not be that door, but guess what? You'll go down that hallway. You might have to pivot. You might have to make a turn or a move. The goal is you just got to keep feeling yourself through the darkness and keep moving yourself forward down the hallway. Majority of people just stay where they see the light, where they are comfortable, right? Ed Milet talks about turning up the thermostat in your life, right? You are the individual. If you are in one of those rooms, the book, highly recommend it. The Power of One More. If you have not read it, read it. It is simple and it is very good. But it's the concept of the thermostat of your life. And there's so many people out there that live in a nice, great 7 or 68 degrees, right? And as you continue to move forward, that's like you turning up the thermostat in your room, right? In your life. And a lot of people allow other people to control the thermostat in their room. They allow them to control the thermostat in their day-to-day life, right? How people treat them, react, all this different stuff. Guess what? You're in total control of the thermostat of your life. And you are in control of whether or not you let other people control that thermostat. You start turning up the thermostat in your life, right? Okay, it was at 68 degrees. Everyone loves it. It's perfect, great temperature. You're like, you know what? No, I want to do more. I want to be better. I want to go do X, Y, and Z. That's like me turning it up to 80 degrees, right? Other people that might be uncomfortable for them, right? They try and turn it back down. Well, you just have to establish, nope, it's 80 degrees. I'm locking this motherfucker in, and we're going to continue to keep going. And then eventually that's good, and it's like the base. Well, then you go to 90. Then you're turning it up to 10, 100, right? It's uncomfortable for other people in those scenarios unless those other individuals are also looking at living in a lifestyle where their thermostat is turned up. And that's, I think, something I know I have to always reflect on that of like, hey, am I just getting comfortable with where I am, with what I'm doing? And have I allowed the thermostat? Because let's be real. I like a good 68 degrees, right? We all like comfortable. Everyone likes comfortable. You have to get to a point where you strive for finding the uncomfortable things in your life, because you start to learn as you move forward. Uncomfortable is a sign of growth. You are stepping outside of your comfort zone, no different than putting weight on in the gym. If you do the same thing every single time, you're going to stay kind of relatively the same size you are, same condition you are, where you're at. The way to be able to progress, whether it is on a strength basis, on an endurance basis, is you have to push yourself. You have to do some of that lactic threshold training. You have to do some of that progressive overload training. You have to stress the body and demand it to change. You have to demand your mind to change. And, that's goes right into with my wife and surrounding yourself by good people. This week, we got the Experience More podcast. And of course, like I've had the Overdose Outdoors piece, and we're working on different developments with that. And I've had the website and everything back. And my wife, she's like, hey, I'm wanting to look at launching this website. And she built it out. And we're going to have, hats, some shirts, and just some different stuff, for personal things, right? Trying to build this brand out, really build the Experience More podcast out. And there's other fingers of it as it'll evolve and everything through really the Experience More brand as a whole. And it's just, she kind of hit me with, it's like, you need to just quit trying to re-tailor the website and, make it perfect. You need to just launch the thing. Like, you need to get it out there and put it out. I've done different runs of some hat designs, shirt designs, stuff like that. Some different products and things that ultimately evolve there. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. And she is right. She's right. I've sat on it too long of like, hey, no, I need to just do it and put it out there. And this is me putting it to you guys, because guess what? You have to visualize it, think it, build it, and then take action on it and do things that ultimately back yourself up against a corner. So website is going to be coming here. This conversation happened yesterday. And this is me to you and all of you guys. It's not posted out, putting anything out there. I'm not, hey, going to blast it all over the place. But the Experience More brand will be launching as the Experience More brand as a whole, right? And that will encompass the, Overdose, or not Overdose, but the Experience More podcast. There'll be other branches of that you will see evolve as well in the Experience More brand. We will most likely, and I'm going to be putting it together now, that Overdose Outdoors, the YouTube channel, will be also, there'll be some things changing and evolving over there to where really Overdose Outdoors was and will continue to be, but it'll be, and this is the evolving piece of it, is, a part that wanting to do with my brothers and just family members in that. Well, they're not here. It's harder to do those kind of things. So that'll be transitioning a little bit. There'll be some things that are happening with that. And ultimately that'll be able to build up as time goes on, but we're going to make it, and we're going to continue to watch this thing grow and trying to build it out more to provide more value to each and every one of you guys that are listening. And I encourage you guys to go out there and chase what your heart's telling you to go after. And I know you're thinking about it right now. Like that thing in the back of your mind that it's like, I wish I would start that. I need to do that. I need to get better at this. The Whitetail Road Show, right? I went up there. I'm new to cameras and getting all this stuff set up. You're watching maybe on YouTube and everything now. I literally over this weekend just figured out some different settings and figured out some stuff. So this one should actually come through pretty clear. I was hating the graininess and different stuff that was happening. The lighting that's happening in this room, I have still so much to learn. But I took a bunch of photos up there. I'm going to go through them, learning how to do some different editing and pieces of that nature. Like, it's all stuff like, yeah, you could go out, pay different people to do X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, like, I want to be able to know how to make these tools and resources for all of you guys and be able to provide it to all of you guys. Because again, it's one of those things like, this is a grassroots, built it from the ground up, and I'm going to show each and every one of you and everyone who's ultimately following, like, it's something that that you can do no matter what. And in the long run, this is the message and everything to Aurora and my daughter and my future family, my wife. Like, I want to make sure that they know that all of this is for them to, one day, if I am not here, if something ever did happen to me, God forbid, and why I do social and all that is like, it's a 21st century scrapbook to be able to show like you're truly capable of going out and doing whatever great thing it is you want to do in life. You just have to give yourself the permission to go. And that's for each and every one of you guys. Not just my family, but to all of you as an extended family. Every single one of you have something right now calling you, a gift that you have, that you're passionate about, that you're so ate up over, and you're probably sitting on it, stewing it, trying to figure it out. Guess what? You're not going to have it all figured out. You just have to take the next best step to move you towards what it is you ultimately want to do and the life you want to live and the legacy you want to leave. So with that, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you guys for chiming in this week. Let's make it a great week. I want to challenge you with the idea that this week, I don't want you to think about like, hey, what is something I can do this week to feel more confident? All I want you to do is think about what has popped up in your head, right? That one thing, that thing that is calling you. I want you to think about that and not think, oh, what do I need to do? How do I make myself more confident? I just want you to think about that one specific thing that you've been wanting to do, trying to accomplish, and don't make it a goal to become more confident, right? Just make it your goal to get one rep in. Make it your goal to get one rep in this week, right? To go and move closer towards that. And then the following week, do another rep. And eventually work that weekly rep into a day-to-day action. But don't think about building confidence this week. Think about what is that one thing I'm doing and what's the rep I can do to move me in the right direction towards my goal. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Love you all. Thank you for chiming in, being a part of the entire Experience More podcast, part of the extended community. If you like this episode, share it with a friend, family member, someone out there that, again, you see that light in, right? You know who they are. You can think of those people that have it and you want to see them excel and you believe in them. Share this show with them, share this episode with them, and allow them to know that you do believe in them. You know what they're truly capable of, and you want to see them go out and truly experience more of not only the outdoors, but life as a whole. Love you all. Have an amazing week. We'll see you next time.